Check this. Let's see what I got on here. My love. Okay. Cool deal. If you are on and you can see me, comment, let me know. This looks weird on my end. I'm gonna give it a minute because I am old and I'm trying to see how to share. So, 'tis the season for new things to do. But I'm sending it to my personal page. Okay. See if that helps. Oh, I'm trying to see how to. All right. So I wanted to put this live on for two reasons. One is because I'm trying to learn how to do this social media thing. I got my little light up here. It's really cute. And yes, if you can tell, yes, I got my hair pressed out. All that good stuff. So I wanted to kind of send a message in love. Yeah, send a message in love because I know everybody is stimulus crazy right now. And stimulus is great. We love stimulus. We love the money and everything is great. But especially just talking to my small business owners, and including nonprofits also, I just wanted to um, talk about a little story that we probably heard in grade school, elementary school, about the grasshopper and the ant. And if you remember the story about the grasshopper and the ant, in the summer, there was, um, you know, news, I guess, about a cold winter. They were going to have a really bad winter. So the ant was like, I'm going to go ahead and start preparing. I'm going to stack up. The grasshopper was like, oh, I don't want to do it right now. He was just procrastinating, all that good stuff. And then, long story short, when winter came, the ant was in his little home, prepared food, all that type of stuff in the little ant hill. And the grasshopper was kind of like, you got some of that food for me? you know, that type of thing. And what I want to just advise in this season is please be the ant and not the grasshopper. And what does that have to do with this new funding that's coming out around the corner? This is what I'm saying. If you are a small business owner or if you are a nonprofit and you are seeking funding, please be the ant and be prepared for the funding. And what do I mean by that? Your financial records have to be in order, and they need to be in order as soon as humanly possible. Now, with all of the um, new funding, and there are some revisions that are coming out, especially with the PPP. If you saw on my page, I believe I shared it on my GIP page. One of my Facebook friends, Samantha Porter, she's also a tax preparer and an accountant, and she mentioned about some guidelines, some revised guidelines that are going to be coming out, especially for PPP. And it's because on round one, the government pushed it out kind of hastily, and people took advantage of those rules. There were several loopholes, and people took advantage of them. The government had time to revise some processes and controls, and so it's not going to be as easy to get the money now as it was earlier this year. So, what I'm asking you guys to do now is to make sure that your organizations are prepared on paper for this new funding. We don't even know yet. I've been looking on the IRS and the SBA pages and even the U.S. Department of Treasury. If you have not signed up for the U.S. Department of Treasury, that's where the the rules are coming from, the U.S. Department of Treasury. So sign up for their news feed, because you're getting it straight from the horse's mouth from the Treasury Department. And then from there, that's when it goes to the SBA, the IRS, and all that stuff like that. Saying all that to say, we don't even know, how long, like, are they giving any changes to how long your business has been in effect and stuff like that. I know with the first round, your business pretty much had to be in place before February, I think, of 2020 or the end of 2019, something like that. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I just started GIP in March of this year, so I didn't even qualify for a lot of it. Not for GIP, but I am a landlord. So, and I didn't even take any of the funding for the beginning of the year. Um, but we'll see if anything changes. It's better to have it and not need it, and need it and not have it. But you know how I can do that? Because I've got my business in order. I've got my documents in order. So, how are you going to position yourself the right way? First of all you need to do is, let me see if I can pull my box. Hold on 1 second, please. I'm going to scoot over. Well, you know what? I'll just use this. I use this as an example. Okay. What you need to do is make sure that you have something like a folder, or I also have a box. I have a box that has literally all of my information in it for the tax year for 2020. And what I do over the break, I just dump all that stuff out and sort it. I have a video on my YouTube page about the tax box, so if you want to look at that later, you can. But especially the first thing you need to do is get you a folder and make sure that you have all of your business entity information in a folder. So when they start asking you for all this information, if you're applying for grants or PPP or EIDL, you can have all this stuff scanned and uploaded, and you'll be ready to roll. And also, guess what else you can put in this folder? Or something bigger, I'm sure, if your business has been in operation for most of the 2020, put all of your receipts, everything that you have purchased, all of your invoices that customers or clients have paid to you, or any donations that you received. You need all this stuff organized inside of some type of folder or holding space. All right? You got to be organized. You got to get organized. And you may not like QuickBooks, you may not like accounting software, it might not be your cup of tea, but you might want to learn Excel, okay? And get all of your stuff situated. And a lot of people kind of get, discouraged about like budgets and I don't know how to organize a budget. The easiest way to do that is to take whatever you spent for 2020 and use those as categories. If you got an auto expense category, supplies and materials, utilities, things of that magnitude, any type of gifts that you purchased on, in the name of your business, any donations that you mail in the name of your business, any income that you received, any sales, if you're a nonprofit, any donations, stuff like that. If you're a nonprofit and you have either um, fundraising projects that you managed, right? If you sold t-shirts as a fundraiser, you may want to categorize all of your expenses based on the fundraiser that you did. That's a way you can do it. I'm trying to think of stuff off the top of my head. If you currently have a grant, I tell you what, if you have already received the PPP or the EIDL or any grant for that matter, and it is a restricted grant, meaning that you can't just spend that money any way you want to when you receive it. You have to make sure that it falls under those guidelines. One, you may want to get that paperwork back in your good graces, read over it, right? And make sure that your expenses fall within those guidelines. Like with the PPP, for example, 60% of your PPP loan has to be spent on payroll if you are planning to be forgiven for it. Now, the other non payroll expenses like utilities, I believe rent, transportation, utilities, rent, transportation. I'm not familiar with most of those. I want to say telephone because for the nonprofit that I work for, we spend all ours on payroll because we got a lot of staff. But check that PPP and also the bank who you're doing the PPP loan with because lenders had to apply to be able to lend out PPP funding. So check with your bank, one, to see if your bank is actually lending out, PPP funds. And they might have their own restrictions and rules depending on, how they want to do their stuff with PPP. And also, if you're, let's see, applying for EIDL, I know there are some restrictions there also, so you may want to check that based off of the business that you run. Okay, and the EIDL information is all on the Small Business Administration website. You have to apply directly through the SBA to get that particular loan. The PPP, you have to go through either your bank if they are lending PPP funds, or you can go to the SBA website and they can point you in the right direction to a lender. Okay, so that's all I really wanted to say because I just see people on in different like groups and like, what's the quickest way to get this? What's the quickest way to get that? What's the quickest way to get this? And nobody's saying the quickest way to position yourself for this funding is to get your records together. You need to be asking, what's the quickest way I need to get my records together? And the quickest way you're going to get your records together is by getting with somebody that can walk you through that. Okay. And shameless plug, I really didn't do this for this, but like I said, I just really wanted to make sure that um, I got it out there because that's just you're playing with fire, and I don't want anybody to get burned like that. Um, because like I said, with everything that's going on right now, I know people are just kind of acting off of emotion, and also, people are just really eager to get funded. I get it. I totally understand. Um, but like I said, you want to make sure that you're in proper position because guess what? If you do it right the first time, you will be in position to get more funding as time goes on. right? And please know that banks are very much aware of people who look like um, they are desperate for cash. It speaks all in your demeanor. It speaks also in your application. It speaks also in the lack of organization in your paperwork. So, with that being said, um, on Friday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, I'm hosting a class on how to qualify for Corona Cash in 2021. All we're talking about is basic bookkeeping principles, accounting software. Like I said, it's not even about I'm I'm not a QuickBooks evangelist, although that is my software of choice. I'm gonna show you how to do it if you don't even want to touch QuickBooks. It's really, really easy, y'all. And like I said, I just want to see y'all win. And um, please use discernment when you're choosing, people to, study as far as getting your things in order. All right. So if you need to talk to me, you can reach me through Facebook Messenger. My email address is info at Sonya. I'm so goofy. Info at gipfinancials.com. And I'm on IG and Facebook. And you can also put a comment in the live below. Just let me get off of here because I'm old and I don't know how to work it. I'm honest enough to say that. Hey Danielle, please share my page. I've been toggling back and forth trying to see things, so I apologize. You come in 11 minutes ago and I just saw it. My bad. So, like I said, guys, if you got any questions, I'm here for you. Let's go out and position ourselves to get funded so we can help our communities and do better. All right.